Welcome back, everyone, to the PA the FI Way podcast. I'm your host, Kat, and I am so excited that you are joining me for the last episode of 2025, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But welcome to the show. And this time of year, around the holidays and into the new year, I tend to get a little bit more reflective, both about how the past year went, but also about what I want and desire and hope for the following year, for 2026 around the corner. And it is a really good time of year to do an annual review. There are lots of different types of annual reviews out there. And this one is one that I tailored for medical providers, and it is the Provider Wellness and Wealth Annual Review. So it is specific to PAs and Ps, physicians, other healthcare providers out there. And I hope that it is a good tool that you can use to think about how your past year went and use that information to reflect about how you want your 2026 to look like. Healthcare professionals are constantly being evaluated both by the patients that they are seeing, as well as administration and their colleagues and lots of people in their lives. But rarely do we take the time to actually evaluate our own lives. And that's truly what matters, right? And burnout thrives when we stay reactive to things happening to us instead of reflective and trying to be proactive for things. So, one of the leading causes of burnout is financial wellness. But if your other areas of wellness also aren't doing well, like your physical wellness, your mental wellness, then those can exacerbate symptoms of burnout as well. And this time to reflect and review your past year is not a time to judge your past year. It's not about judging it. It's taking the time to reflect and learn from it so you can better understand what you want for 2026. So let's dive into the 5 different domains or parts of this annual review framework and what you can do to actually audit your wellness as well as your wealth as a provider. If you are listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube, I will have the link in the show notes in the description for a free resource that is a downloadable wellness and wealth annual review tool that you can use, and you can download the sheet and fill it out as you go. And you can use that information to take 15 minutes, maybe up to 30 minutes out of your day to reflect on the past year. So make sure to grab that tool as well. The first domain is financial health, which, as you know, is a giant goal of this podcast. I want to make sure that all my PA colleagues out there and medical professional colleagues are financially healthy so that they help prevent and treat their burnout too. So it's really important that your financial health is doing well. And again, don't use this time to judge your financial health, but learn from the information that you collect to see where you're at and where you want to go for next year. So here are some reflection questions. How did your overall wealth do the past year? Did it go up? Did it go down? Did you go further into debt? Did your net worth increase overall? Do you actually know where your money is going, or have you continued to avoid looking at it? It's really important that you don't have avoidance tendencies and ignore your finances for many years to come. Otherwise, in December of 2026, you might find yourself in the exact same position, scratching your head and asking yourself, where in the world did all of your money go the past year? Ask yourself, what caused financial stress for you this year? And what was a financial decision that actually brought a lot of peace to you into your life? What was a really great financial decision that you are so glad that you spent your money on that thing or that experience or that purchase for a loved one in your life? Some metrics that you can review as you are reviewing your financial health over the past year would be, again, your net worth, your overall picture of your finances. What was your savings rate? What percentage of your income did you actually save towards your goals? What was your overall debt trend, especially if you have student loan debt or if you have car debt or if you have credit card debt? If you're able to reflect and look back at January of 2025, where are you compared from that month to this month overall? And how is your emergency fund? Is it fully maxed out? Is it a work in progress? Is it something they haven't even opened yet? This is a reminder that if you haven't gone back to listen to episode 151, where I talk about emergency funds and high yield savings accounts. I highly encourage you to go ahead and listen to that episode. I share about my favorite high yield savings account, and I have a link for a referral for you if you'd like to open it as well. But it has lots of good information about emergency funds and what you can do to build yours up and how much should you even put in there. So I encourage you to go check out that episode as well. It's also a really good time of year to take inventory of your lifestyle choices. Do you feel like you are having lifestyle creep where your spending and your overall desire for these big and fancy things are exceeding your actual income and what your net worth is doing? Or do you feel like you're able to keep those things in check and again, continue to work on your financial goals, maybe making some smaller sacrifices now so that you have bigger reward in the future? Remember, when you are not financially healthy and you're having a lot of financial stress, it reduces your overall cognitive load and your mental bandwidth, and you can feel a lot more stressed. Your sleep can suffer. You can have a lot of decision fatigue where you don't know what to do with your finances or what to do with your life. And again, all those things can contribute to burnout too. Next, let's transition to talking about financial health to the next domain, which is your career and overall work energy. When you are thinking of your career as a medical professional, or even if you have a side hustle or other things you're doing outside of medicine, ask yourself overall, did your job or jobs, did they drain you or did they give you energy? And do you feel over the past year in 2025, did you work more hours or fewer hours than you were expecting? And did you say yes to things in your role when you really wanted to say no? Were there any boundaries that you feel like you didn't set that you feel like you need to go ahead and revisit and reset them? Or are there boundaries that are coming to mind that you need to implement for 2026 going forward? There are a few past episodes about boundary setting. One of them is episode 98, which talks about the benefits of boundaries and talks about how you can set them, as well as episode 156, which is titled Say No to the Yes Trap, the boundary setting power skill that every clinician needs to know to prevent burnout. This section talks about protecting your energy, both in your career, but also outside of your life too. And if you don't have your energy protected in your career, the rest of your energy outside is getting eaten up and not supporting your overall choices and goals for what you want your life to look like outside of work. So I encourage you to go back and take a listen to another episode. Episode 165, I talk about the energy audit, and that teaches how you can spend your energy wisely. It walks you through how you can figure out what things drain energy from your life, what things give you energy in your life, and how you can figure out how to do more of the things that give you energy and fewer of the things that drain your energy, and how you can delegate to people or how can you remove things from your plate. So if you feel as though your energy is being sucked out of you day to day and week to week, I highly encourage you to listen to that episode or watch it on YouTube. And domain 3 is your physical and your mental health. And this is your reminder that just because we work in the medical field does not mean that we are the epitome of physical health or mental health too. So it is my challenge to you that you consider the areas that you could make changes. And again, some of these changes might be micro habits or micro changes that get you from point A over to point B. You're not going to do a giant jump from point A to point B, but it's often these little steps and these little habits that build upon each other over time. And they are able to work these changes into your day and into your week as well. So think about the areas where you can make some changes for your physical and for your mental health too. So reflecting back on 2025, I'm curious, how was your sleep over the past year? Did you sleep pretty steadily? Did you have periods of higher stress where you were barely getting any sleep? Or were you feeling really down and depressed and you were sleeping way too much, sleeping your weekends away or your time off throughout the whole hours that you had? Were you having stress or mental health concerns show up in your physical health? Were you having symptoms like nausea, headaches, weight changes, other GI upset symptoms, diarrhea, things like that? Is your body telling you that your mind is struggling? Or is your mind struggling and it's causing your body to have some of those symptoms? It's really important that you listen to those and don't push them off. Remember that if you aren't taking care of yourself, then how can you take care of your patients? But most importantly, your loved ones, your family members, your friends, those people near and dear to your heart as well. Sometimes you can frame it as, am I caring for myself and giving myself the care that I would give towards my patients? And again, it is so easy to push yourself to the side, say, I'll deal with this later, I'll deal with this in another year. Well, another year is right around the corner here. So if there are some of those symptoms you have been ignoring, or you're feeling as though you need to get things checked out or want further support overall, I encourage you to do so coming up here. Domain 4 is all about time and freedom and lifestyle alignment for what you desire out of your life. Looking back over 2025, did your calendar reflect your values? Did your calendar show what's important to you? So many times people have a calendar that's so full of things, but yet you ask them what it's important to them, and it is none of those things. So again, make sure that your calendar, how you are spending your precious time, is actually aligning with your values and your dreams for your life. Over the past year, how much time did you have for things like rest to be able to recover, or relationships for those important people in your life, or even creativity? How much time were you able to take the time to be creative and to think for yourself and reflect or journal? How much time were you able to travel, either travel in your state or in the country or around the world? How much time are you able to spend in nature? If you enjoy spending in nature, it can be very rejuvenating and refreshing for a lot of people. When you start working in medicine as a early career professional and you are working hard to pay off your student loan debt, or you're working hard to pay off other debt or build your wealth, time is the thing that gets stripped away from you most quickly. Remember, no one cares about your time as much as you do. So if you aren't protective of your time, everyone at work or in your life otherwise will try to take some of your time. And again, it's important that you are still giving of yourself and having a serving attitude, especially if that's important to you or a value that you have. But if you are just giving time and energy and effort to everyone else and not taking the time for you to do what you need to do or to spend how you want to spend it, then everyone else is dictating your life for you. So it's important to learn how to manage your time too when you're working as a clinician. If you are not efficient with templates or with managing your in basket or even managing your email basket, all of those things can just be such a drain to your energy. And you might be spending an hour or even 2 hours charting at the end of the day. So it's really important that you learn tools like dictation, or some places are implementing AI scribes or human scribes as well, and learning how to lead your team so that your team members, like your MAs or nurses, they are practicing at their fullest and highest scope for their degree and their profession too, and you are empowering them to do so. That can take a lot out of the time that you're spending with all of these things as well. So again, prioritize your time early in your career and learn to do that over the years too. And every year, take the time to look back and see how you spent your time over the past year. And again, did it reflect with what your goals were? And domain 5, the final domain here, talks about relationships, community, meaning, social health. And it's a reminder that burnout doesn't just happen in your career. Burnout can happen in your relationships too. So when you're thinking about your energy and what drains you, be thinking about who drains you too. So who over the past year was draining your energy in your life? And ask yourself, is that a relationship that you want to continue to have in 2026? Or is it one that maybe you dial back on the interactions over the next year? Is it someone that doesn't necessarily benefit or help you or support you, or even a loved one in your life? Are there ways that you can decrease those interactions that you have with them? Ask yourself over the past year, who poured into you, who helped support you over the past year? who actually gave you energy? Are there ways that you can meet with them more in 2026, either in person or virtually, and foster that relationship and that connection? Because when your social health does better, your mental health and your physical health and your financial health all can do better too. And in wrapping up, here is one more exercise that I will include in that provider wellness and wealth audit for your annual review that you can find the link in the show notes or the episode notes here for you. And it is called the Keep, Stop, and Start exercise. With this exercise, I want you to think about 3 to 5 things that you want to keep in your life. And they could be things like habits, behaviors, or systems. So, for example, for habits, you might want to keep a solid financial habit or a solid wellness habit, or you might want to keep a healthy boundary that you have in place. For stop, you need to decide which of those habits, behaviors, or systems that you need to stop in your life. For example, is there a really bad spending habit that you're actually leaking money away from you every week or every month that you need to stop? Is there a commitment that you have on your calendar every week or every month that's absolutely draining your energy and does not need to be on your plate? Do you need to stop that? Or is there even a thought pattern that you have, one surrounding shame when it comes to finances or guilt for wanting being selfish for your time or your energy? Those types of thought patterns that aren't serving you would be something that you could stop going forward for 2026. And then finally, the third section would be start. What is one system that you could start and set up for you? Or what is one tiny little micro habit that you can start implementing? I encourage you to take 5 minutes to write out 3 to 5 items under keep, stop, start, so you can think about that going forward for 2026 and figure out which of those changes you want to make or which of those things that you want to keep doing that you are doing well. All right, so we talked about 5 different domains that you can audit in your provider wellness and wealth annual review, reflecting back on 2025 and figuring out, hey, what did I learn from this year? What do I want to carry forward with me in 2026? Or what changes do I want to make going forward as well? And I'll make sure to have that link for you in the show notes. So go ahead and download that. And I wish you the absolute best of the rest of 2025. This episode will be airing after Christmas, but I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holidays you celebrate this time of year. And I hope you have a wonderful new year right around the corner too. And I will see you in 2026. Thanks so much for watching. And if you found this episode helpful, please go ahead and share it with a colleague, with a friend, with a family member, anyone that you think would benefit from this information too.